So I've actually been contemplating quite a while if I should actually make a proper review for the whole anime Fuuka, and I come to the conclusion I might as well just do it. So this review will kind of be both on the side of anime and the manga, so I'm going to mix them in two, so you'll have both my opinions on there. And yeah, so I guess enjoy. So in the beginning it started off rather good, if I could say. It started following the manga precise, and you could tell that the way they did it, that it wasn't going to follow the manga exactly, that they'd cut some scenes and make it shorter, but when you see in the first few episodes that you get the impression that it might still follow this original storyline. Obviously though, when we see more, we get to learn that it's actually not, that it doesn't follow the storyline, and it's actually drastic changes. But of course, if you're an anime only, that might not bother you as much. But if you did watch it as an anime only, it still might have seemed like a generic romance anime to you in the end. But yeah, it started off really well. It started to build the relationship between you and Fuuka. I started to see some... Well, Fuuka wasn't really the same as in the manga, but I still really liked her. There were slight differences with her in the beginning. Later on she really changes. You can see her character really not the same as in the manga. You see she's a likable character, things are nice between her and you, and then all of a sudden the focus shifts onto Koyuki, and then it becomes about Koyuki. And then that really left me confused, because in the manga it didn't do that at all. So yeah, that really shocked me a bit, and then I started to realize that they're really starting to change the story, and I was really at that point wondering if we're even gonna see a death in the anime. So it really goes 1/4 Fuuka, 1/4 band, 1/4 Koyuki, and then 1/4 Fuuka again. That's basically how it happened. But yeah, the big change overall is when Yu and Koyuki started to actually date. Now in the manga they don't actually date at all. Yu actually doesn't answer her feelings in the slightest bit, and they just go on their normal friendship. And then suddenly, you know, Fuuka dies after, like, they start dating, Yu and Fuuka. Then Fuuka dies, and then Yu he changes as a character, and he starts writing songs, he starts singing, and he just changes. There's a big character development and a big change for him. And that's really what I loved about Fuuka's death, even though I dropped the manga for a while. So yeah, Koyuki and Yu dating is what really changed the manga, and then that led to no death for Fuuka. Although I'm not really upset about that if they did it in the anime. I read an article stating that the author, Koji Seo, actually wanted Fuuka to live, but he killed her off because he thought it would be necessary for Yu's development, and he was really correct on that. The producer handling the anime, when he read the manga, he immediately wanted to make a route where Fuuka doesn't die, and that's where we get the anime from. The anime is a route where Fuuka does not die, although I really wish they handled it differently. I wish they kept the story the same as that they had in the manga, obviously cutting a few bits out, making it shorter for 12 episode anime, but also keeping how they progressed and how they developed their relationship the same. But instead they changed major parts of the story, and it technically became a whole new story if you think about it. Yu and Koyuki were never supposed to date, and I don't actually think that affects the story at all, but for an anime purpose they made it that Yu and Koyuki would date. For those of you who have read the manga and you saw the relationship between Yu and Fuuka build up, you would realize that there was no need for the producer to even bring in Koyuki and let her date Yu first. That in itself just made it a generic anime. So many animes we see that the childhood friend doesn't win, doesn't get recognized, but not only that, the main character thinks he loves her, and then they start dating, and then later on finds out he doesn't love her and goes with the main character or the main chick. Now that is also a route we've seen countless times in anime, and that's just what makes these things generic. And yeah, also I just don't feel the same about Fuuka, like the character Fuuka, in the manga that I did in the anime. I mean, the one in the manga just felt more carefree, more wild, more caring, and just more of a closed character, really not knowing what love is, and then slowly developing feelings for you, and realizing herself that she loved you without needing a side girl character to awaken her feelings. So yeah, that was the Fuuka I liked, and I really liked the development between her and you. You can see slowly by slowly in manga chapters how she was opening up to you and how they were getting closer, and just in the chapters that we saw, you could actually really just see how close they were getting. I mean, in the anime we don't even get a kiss from them. We get like one little hug and an arm pull. Oh, we're never gonna see that kiss. That kiss on the roof with Fuuka and you was really one of the best kisses. You was contemplating the whole day when the right time should be for go for the first kiss, and then he climbs up the ladder and boom, Fuuka just gives him a kiss and just said, "Oh, I just had to kiss you today." So yeah, but overall, I really actually didn't enjoy the anime. When I heard the announcement that there's gonna be a Fuuka adaptation, I was hype. I was talking to my friend about it, so I tell him every now and again about some chapters, and when it got announced, I was hype. I was like, dude, Fuuka's coming out, you gotta check it out. And he was like, yeah, sure dude, you know. And then when I told him, because I spoke to him before about all the chapters and stuff, he kind of also got a little bit disappointed at what we got. So yeah guys, obviously I'm not going to give the anime such a great score, but anime lovers out there, anime only viewers, might give it a better score. But like I said before, most of you anime only viewers might still think it's a bland romance anime, very generic and, you know, all that kind of crap. But yeah guys, that's all I got for my review on Fuuka. I gave it a 3 on Mal, so it's not the greatest of this season at all. On the other hand, Blue Exorcist was amazing, out of this chart with the fields and everything. Really top notch this season. But anyway guys, that's it for my review on Fuuka today. If you liked anything I had to say, hit that like button down below, and also if you could subscribe, that would be great. And I'll check you guys in the next one, and I'm out. Cheers.